What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Minion TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo, and tonight, you guys, today, we are going to be discussing Agatha All Along. That's right, y'all. This is season 1, episode 4, titled, If I Can't Reach You, Let My Song Teach You. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week thus far. Excuse me. Trying to record a little bit on my break, y'all. But, we are at hump day. So y'all know exactly what that means. All right, we got a couple more days to grind this thing out. Kids get them grades, and then it's right back to the weekend, so we can hopefully relax before the Thanksgiving festivities begin. All right, along with all the people come with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead, get into the synopsis real quick, and then we're going to get right into the episode. So the synopsis for this one is: the coven face their second trial on the Witch's Road as they encounter a house from Alice's past. After the teen meddles in magic beyond his abilities, the witches have to work together to banish the past for good. All right, y'all. It seems like it's going to be a pretty decent episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So we start the episode off with everybody saying their goodbyes to Mrs. Sharon. And Jen is picking up on all the odd energy in the area, okay? Agatha is talking about she didn't know that she had it in her while she's looking at Miss Sharon's dead body. Alice is sad, even though she only knew this lady for half a day. But Lily is like, hey, she's probably upset because she may be thinking about her mom right now, okay? Being lost out there on the road or dying out here in the process of trying to finish the road. We don't know what's going through her head. Now, Alice ends up hearing the last tidbit of their conversation, and she confirms that, yes, she lost her mom on the road, just not the witch's road. She died in a fire while out on tour. And so it was like, oh. And you could see the question marks popping up in bubbles on top of their head. It was like, oh, okay. So if she didn't die here, if she's not here, why did you come? And she says that it's because her mom told her that the road would save her life. All right. Okay. So Teen and Alice start to dig this grave for Miss Sharon, and Agatha is like, okay, y'all, for the rest of us, let's get going. And she does her little spin with her peacoat jacket. Y'all, it's so cute. She does her little spin. It's like, shroom. And so that was like, hold on, girl. Wait a minute. Aside from you having this cold ass demeanor, do you notice something different? Spot the difference, ma'am. We are lacking a witch for the coven. We are lacking a person. And so she was like, girl, okay. Let me just say that Miss Sharon was not the best pick, okay? I acknowledge my fault in my choice. But we knew she probably wasn't gonna make it no way. Okay, girl, that's even worse. I thought she was gonna have a little bit of a heart, but apparently not. So she says that that's more power for them. But now that she understands their dilemma, let me explain it to you. So we actually needed the amount of people that we needed to enter the witch's road. But that's not to say that all of us will leave the witch's road. Okay? And so she brings up the song, and she was like, kind of how, like they say, witches 2, like the number 2 or TOO. And she was like, no, it's actually the other brew or something like that, y'all. And so her and Jen got into an argument going back and forth about the lyrics to the word. Y'all know how that happens sometimes with these songs that we love and adore, okay? No, they said this part. No, it actually meant this. So Lilia was like, let's just ask Alice, okay? Because her mama wrote the most popular version of the song. Alice, what you say? What your mama say for the words? And so she went to go ask Agatha and was like, so when you left the witch's road the last time, how many were left? And Agatha says 1, and she points to herself. Oh, okay. Well, that fixes that. So Jen was like, girl, none of that even matters. We still need a green witch. That's it. We need a green witch. So now they have to try to conjure a witch. Now, this goes against all rules and regulations previously, because, I mean, that's just not the norm when you on the witch's road. But, I mean, shit, has any of this been normal? Okay, I thought so. So they literally like fill out a profile for a body to enter the witch's road, like by separating the leaves out, and then they put candles around them. As they put down their candle, they are speaking to what they want her to be, or what qualities they want her to possess, right? So they say all these different things. They want somebody that's smart. They want somebody that's nice to look at. They want somebody with some leave. They want somebody that's not too politically argumentative. Okay? All the things. Be wise. So then, y'all, they do that. They wait a few seconds. The candles blow out. And then all of a sudden, y'all would have thought it was like a zombie apocalypse or something, or like the new coming version of Thriller or something. Y'all, a hand rose up out of there. I was not ready. I was not paying attention. All I heard was the sound, and I jumped out of my skin. Okay? So a hand comes up out the grave, and then the body. And then just like the Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Y'all remember that version of the Mummy? It was really good, y'all. She started to take form. Why was it Rio? Agatha's ex, Rio, or the one that we can assume they have some type of romantic relationship from the past? Her. And so she comes over to taunt Agatha, and she's like, "For you, my lady." And she's got like this flower or something and blows into Agatha's face. Y'all, Agatha was about ready to pop her if she didn't get held back. So she storms off, and Teen goes after her. And so the rest of the girls is like, what is happening? So Rio was like, "Oh, I was just in the area. I heard y'all was having a party. I'm here, okay? I brought the bud." I'm just playing, y'all. So they're trying to figure out what she's all about. Apparently, she's attractive, right? So Jen and Alice are kind of like eyeing her pretty good. Now, she did just come out the dirt, so you're going to have to at least take a bath before y'all try to shoot y'all shot at her. That's all I'm saying. So they're looking at her, but she's kind of scary, right? So they were like, "Oh, so are you the Green Witch?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily the Green Witch. I'm the Green Witch." The way her voice got deep, y'all, I was like, "Oh man, she is demonic." So they start to go towards the trail, right? So Teen finally catches up with Agatha, and he's like, "Hey girl, hey, so about the lady that we saw not too long ago, she's here now. How are you feeling? Do you want to talk this out? Should we be concerned? Because yeah, she tried to kill you last time." Okay. Y'all, Agatha just keep on walking. So then, as they start to walk some more, they happen upon this house. And Alice takes one look at it. Oh, before they get there, y'all, she was saying how they shouldn't have even gotten this far. Okay, what are we gonna do? We can't go back. Teen wanted to go back, but Alice didn't want to proceed. And so that's how the Rio came about and them conjuring her. Okay, I forgot that little tidbit. So then they come up on this house, and Alice is like, "Oh, hell no. We not going in there. I'm not going. We stopping right here." So now Agatha has to give her this pep talk, y'all. And Alice was still like, "Hell no. I'm doubling down on it. I'm not doing it." So then she tries to go the other way, y'all. And you can't escape it. Every which way you turn or which direction you try to walk, this house is still here. So you have no other choice but to face your fears. And y'all, I will say before I even because this was my first time reading the synopsis, but I had kind of looked at the episode last night before I fell asleep. I got to that part, and now it makes sense why she don't want to go in, because this has something to do with her past and probably her mom too. So we'll see what happens. So before they go in, they notice that there's this wax moon on the door, right? And it's very pretty, but definitely of a different time. You can tell. And so, baby, they get through that door, and as soon as they step through, we are transported back to a time of lava lamps and platforms. Do you hear me? I mean, like, straight up look like they finna get ready to hit the Studio 54 after they just came from like a Kiss concert or something. So Rio was curious as to what happens next, and Lily was like, well, we get tested. So Teen raises his hand like the teen he actually is, like he in the classroom or something, and suggests that maybe they look for a clue to kick off the next trial. So they all start looking around, and everybody is noticing different dark things around the house, like pictures of witches and cages being burned and tortured, scary masks lining the wall. It was like, I don't know, like if you look too long at them, something might jump out and get you or something. And then Alice's mom was on one of the walls as well in a picture. And so she confirms to Lilia that her mom was trying to open the Witch's Road at her concerts, right? And so after she tells her about her mom, and after that, she tells her about the fact that her mom had to sell her catalog so they wouldn't lose their house like a month later, all right? So her mom tries to contact her via Lilia after she made that statement, and Lilia like started saying all this random stuff. And it didn't make sense, right? And so that's how I knew her mom was trying to get in contact with her. But she didn't know what was happening because it was really brief. It seemed to go like right over her head, right? So Rio tries to push up on Agatha a little bit, but Agatha tells her no in her stern mama voice. Ain't none of that happening. I said no. So they end up going to go talk in the studio. And of course, they're talking about how things used to be, how they hate each other, and then how they love each other. They have a really love-hate relationship. Maybe the Witch's Road this time is like Switzerland. Okay? I'm really just using these girls to get to the end of the road. Then I'm going to kill them. And so then, of course, Rio feeds into this, and she's like, a little working play don't never hurt nobody. I'm just waiting on you to do you. And she was like, oh, what does that mean? And as she's asking her that, she ends up hitting the button for the intercom so the girls can hear her on purpose, right out there where they are in the actual studio, in the recording space. So they overhear Rio tell Agatha that Agatha is just gonna kill them later on. And Agatha was like, oh, me? I would never. Not me and my covenant. One of them. Putting on the front, right? So all the girls come running up, or the rest of the coven come running up, and they're like, hey, what's she talking about? So as soon as they try to confront her by they banging on the window, we can hear them talking, right? All of a sudden, this music just starts blaring. And it's the song that Alice's mom had recorded. It's the Witch's Road record, right? And so it's playing, but it's playing backwards. And y'all know what they used to say on some of them songs that we used to listen to when we was kids. If you slowed it down and you played it backwards, you could hear something different, right? It's a curse. So music is blaring, right? Music is blaring. Agatha runs out because they can't get it to stop. She ends up taking her whole record player and she tosses it and breaks it. Breaks the whole thing, including the record itself, right? And so as they're trying to figure out just what in the hell happened, Lily was like, oh, baby, we've been cursed. And so Alice is trying to put the record back together in the pieces, and she realizes that this was her mom's song at that point. And so she stands up and she's like, hold on, do y'all feel a little bit lighter? Cause I feel a little lighter. And as soon as she said that, y'all, Lilia ended up getting attacked. So she starts burning, like smoke is just coming off of her, right? So Alice has to hurry up and grab Rio's dagger and create a circle of protection around her to stop the curse, right? So the curse hops off of her. They trying to figure out what the hell is going on. She done got burnt on her shoulders, but she don't know that just yet, right? So Teen is trying to put together like these formulas that they could use to try to get rid of this curse, and maybe we can just have a friendly conversation with it. And Agatha was like, that's not gonna work. The only way to get rid of this curse is to confront it head on. That's what you gotta do. So then next thing you know, Jen gets attacked. And before we even go further, y'all, just a little side note. Jen looked like Roberta Flack. Y'all, she looked gorgeous in her getup. Not saying that everybody else didn't, but she stood out, y'all. Flawless. So she gets attacked. They end up doing, Alice does a circle of protection around her as well. And they notice that her shoulders are burnt. Lilia finally realizes that hers are too. And this is when Agatha puts two and two together and was like, it was you. You did it. You brought this curse in here. And so she says, I did everything that I could. I thought that it was my fault. How I always had these dead end jobs, how they never got nowhere, how everything that I came in contact with just always seemed to go to hell. I couldn't even protect my own mama. And so then she says, I thought that these were birthmarks. But she had them too. Talking about her mom. Generational curses. Ain't that crazy? We could go real deep with that, y'all, but I'm just not, okay? But yes, both her and her mom had these bruises on their shoulders. Okay, it's like a weight just bearing down on them. And so Jim was like, oh, hell no, this ain't good for us. You done gave your generational curses over to us. How are we supposed to get rid of this? So then, here comes Agatha. Agatha was like, oh, baby, it's time for a jam session. This is it. And so the curse started flying around. Can't get rid of it. We don't know what to do. Agatha says, it's a jam session time. And Alice was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that song. And she said, baby, the only way we're going to get up out of here is if you do. And play it right. Anime, play it right. Because if not, we all going to die tonight. So they ain't got no other choice. She hop on the piano. I forgot what Lilia had. She had the little baby tambourines that you put on your finger. What she call them, mints or something like that? I don't know the name of them things. Jen hopped on the bass. Rio got the drums. Teen got the guitar. Alice is on the piano, and then Agatha is the singer. She got the mic. So they start to queue up, y'all, and as soon as Agatha start belting out some words, she get burned. Okay, but we gonna keep on going, because if we don't, we not gonna make it out. So they start getting into it, right? And as they start to, I forgot to tell y'all one important part. Before they started their jam session, the curse ended up getting Teen too, y'all. It pushed him through the glass that separates the recording booth from like the studio where they do the mixing and stuff, right? Pushed him through there, broke the glass and everything. Now, we didn't think that he was hurt initially, but we found out as they was playing that he had got a piece of shard glass stuck in his abdomen. Okay? So keep that in mind. So as they're playing, they focus in on him starting to bleed, and he notices it. Okay, but he don't say nothing. They jamming real hard, y'all. The curse ends up sitting on top, at the top of the ceiling, at the top of like one of the fixtures, the lighting fixtures. And Alice, as she starts to play harder, she can actually see the curse. The curse is getting pissed and getting lit up. Okay, so what Agatha had told her made sense, because her mom's song was so popular. And the reason that Alice hadn't died before this was because her mom's song had been in constant rotation, and her mom created that song as a protection spell for her to keep her safe. But since the record had been broken, the curse was now able to get to her. So now they have to play it to protect all of them. So she finally sees the curse, It's getting pissed off. It's burning up because they jamming. And then once they get to the very end, and she was like, I can kill it. She started going in on that piano, y'all. Y'all would have thought she was Alicia Keys or something. So she going in on the piano, and the curse comes over and puts his claws on her shoulders again. But she stands up, and I was like, oh man, is Alice finna die? No. The curse just burnt up, y'all. And they made it out. So as soon as they finished the song, the metronome stopped playing, right? Because the metronome had started, and that's how they knew that the trial had started. So the metronome stopped. Everything stopped. The flames disappeared, all of that, because the place looked like it was about to go up in flames. Do you hear me? They was burning the house down with the music. So the piano lifts up, and we see that is their way to escape, right? So everybody is super excited that they beat this trial. And so Teen was like, oh, yay. And then he collapsed, y'all, and they finally discovered that he had got punctured with a piece of shard glass. So now they got to get him to safety to get this removed in time before he end up dying, y'all. I was like, please save Teen. So they get Teen back on the witch's road, and they have to hurry up and come up with a potion that will save him because he is bleeding out. They remove the shard of glass, and she's got to do a little bit of something and some water. I think she said some salt or something like that. Y'all don't remember, okay? But it was 2 ingredients that she needed, and she started to, pour it over his wound. And as Agatha is on Jen's back about this is not making it any better, wound heals. Okay, it closes up completely like it never even existed. Blood is washed away and everything. So Agatha breathes a sigh of relief, honey. I don't know if she thought that was her son or what. She is really protective of him. I need to know what happened to her son. It's not Teen, right? But what happened to her son? Because she is really protective of him. So she goes off and waits for him to finally come to while the rest of the girls kind of sit around the fire and they're talking. So we find out from Jen that she is an 11th generation root worker. She's not just a witch, okay? And she had took this position at an OB clinic, and she's not sure how this doctor managed to bind her. Bind her without using magic. Okay, but shame on him. She ever catch him again, that's it. She didn't say that, I did. So she's been bound ever since. She don't know how he did it, but he did. He tricked her. Okay. And so then we hear from Alice that Alice always thought that the road wasn't real. She wanted to believe that it wasn't real because if her brain made it real, then that would mean that her mom was really trying to protect her and she could not do anything to keep her from getting hurt. And that's what makes her sad. And it's okay to be sad. She thought that she was going to be angry forever because her mom had went out there for something that didn't really exist. She was chasing something that wasn't real, but it turned out to be. She wanted to be angry for the rest of her life. But no, okay? We healing from that, girl. Healing. So then they start to talk about scars. Okay? And Lilia is talking about her vampire scars that she got from some clash. Okay? She knocked him out. She knocked his teeth out. So then Teen finally comes to, and Agatha is beyond relieved. And so he ends up asking her, was she the one that put that spell on him where he can't give away any vital information about who he is? The sigil? I think that's what he called it, the sigil. And she says, no, I didn't do that. And honestly, a lot of witches don't do that because if you put that spell on somebody, then sometimes you are also bound to those same terms and conditions, right? So it's an annoyance more than anything. So that's why a lot of witches don't use it anymore. And so then before he asks her if there is any way to get rid of it, and she tells him that it can't be gotten rid of, it can only be destroyed. And the only way that it can be destroyed if it's no longer needed. But she tells him very nicely that she doesn't need to know his name to know his character and know who he is as a person. That's one of the nicest things that she's ever said to somebody in this whole entire season. And so he was like, careful, girl, don't be too nice. But that niceness went away really quickly because he turned around and asked her, what really happened to your son? And she was like, heal fast because we ain't going to be here long. That was a quick turnaround. So she joins the rest of the group as they're sharing their war stories and their scar stories. And they tell Agatha to show them some of her scars. And she says something about some group of vampires. And she was like, have y'all heard of them? They said, no. Okay, that's probably why, because I took their asses out. That's it. Story over. So then she's sitting next to Rio, and Rio starts to talk about how she loved someone a long time ago. She said, oh, I got a scar. And Agatha was like, no, you don't. She was like, oh, yes, I do. All this weird energy. Is nobody... Jen, why haven't you picked up on this energy, girl? Between the two of them. Why? I need to know. So they got this weird energy going between the two of them. Like I said, clearly we can tell that something happened. I don't know if the other girls are picking up on it, but we surely can. So she goes on to explain that a long time ago she loved somebody and she did something to hurt this person that she loved very badly. And it's not because she wanted to do it, but her job required her to do it. And she says that she is her scar. But she never names names, but she just says that she is her scar. So then Agatha was like, oh, yeah, I got to go stretch my legs. And so then, of course, Rio goes after her. But before she can get to Agatha, Lilia stops her and was like, girl, don't think that I forgot about what you said in that recording booth. Now, I don't know if they thought that Lilia was the person that said that she was going to kill them off or watch them be killed or whatever. I don't know. But Lilia remembers everything. Don't think that I forgot, girl, because I didn't. So she goes to go talk to Agatha. And y'all, they start to embrace. I was like, is we finna have a moment on the witch's road? So they hug. And then when Rio pulls back from her, she says, that's not your son. He's not your son. And y'all, this look on Agatha's face, it was like a mixture of defeat, anger, and disgust all in one. I don't know if there's a look that can describe that. And she just turned and walked away. And that's the way the episode ends, y'all. It was pretty good. I need to know the rest of the backstory. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. Y'all, I love y'all, okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. If you have any show suggestions, please send them my way, okay? That's all I have for now. So until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.